Time to spice up the family room.
Okay, so it finally happened. After 16 years in our home and one too many enjoyable stormy nights, the time had come. Not for us to move or anything, just for our fence to be replaced. We like our home. We also enjoy seeing what's new on the market every once in a while. However, until it's time for us to move on to bigger and better things, who says we can't bigger and better our own things right now? Our old fence, well, part of our old fence, had seen its last day. Outside, anyway. Drawing on recent inspiration from our latest visiting of newer homes, we decided to make the best use of this old fence, repurposing it into something beautiful. This really wasn't a hard project by any means, other than it being a little labor intensive at first, but I had a couple engineers on hand willing to put in some work, so for all intents and purposes, we'll call this a fairly easy project. If you have an old fence laying around, or you're able to get your hands on one, this is something anyone could do. Our first step was to remove the pickets from the old rails. Are they called rails actually? I don't know if they're called rails, but you know what I mean. We had to remove those sticks from the other sticks before we could start making the sticks we wanted to keep usable for our project. Stick with me. It all comes together in the end. Power washing was up next. We had what I would call a failed attempt at trying to power wash with the garden hose. It took forever, and since I had never done this before, I wasn't aware of what we were missing out on. Sorry, boys. Thankfully, I had the thought to ask my sister for her power washer. And yeah, I did. I'm not sure all power washers are made the same, but this made all the difference. Let's see what the kids think.
How's that feel?
Excellent.
So there you have it. DIYer tested, kid approved. On to step 3. It was time to remove the years of weathering from the boards and to cut them down to different sizes. I didn't want to remove all of the weathering from all of the boards, so I ended up having 3 levels. The first one was slightly sanded. I left it mostly weathered, but made sure to remove anything on it from outside that I didn't want inside. The second level of sanding were half of the boards that we power washed. I did my best to take off a little bit with hand sanding, but not a lot. And then the third, you probably guessed it, the other half of the boards we power washed were sanded all the way down to their original wood tone. In my opinion, this allowed for enough chaos for the entire wall to still be dynamic, but not overtake the design of the room. After identifying a pattern and taking all of my measurements, I laid out the pattern twice more, and it was time to get every single piece up on the wall. When it's all said and done, let me know what you think. The last piece. The crazy thing about being a woodworker is that of all the things I've done, we rarely get to stop and do something for ourselves. So I really enjoy being able to do this project for our home. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I want to encourage you. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. Now go create something amazing.